There's been a 40-year movement to save Barnegat Bay in New Jersey, and today we're going to get an update. Hello and welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Candace Kelly, and we are in Atlantic City, New Jersey at the Convention Center. It is the 98th New Jersey State League of Municipalities Conference, and today I am joined by William DeCamp. He is president of Save Barnegat Bay. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Well, thank you for having me.
So what some people may not understand about this whole movement is that Barnegat Bay, when we talk about what the problem is, it all has to do with the quantity of nitrogen that is put in the bay. Tell me what's happening with that nitrogen and how that is displacing some other systems.
Barnegat Bay is overfed with plant food, and the plant food is nitrogen. The nitrogen comes from burning fossil fuels, and it comes from the things we do, fertilizing our lawns, and it comes from the fact that there's so much paved area in the county that the forests, the land plants, can't soak up the nitrogen before it gets into the bay. Once it's in the bay, then it feeds the wrong things. It feeds algae, big algae, small algae, seaweed, and they crowd out the things that we would like to see in the bay: clams, oysters, eelgrass.
Absolutely. So Barnegat Bay, in terms of what it should look like and what it does look like, how would you compare the two?
Well, when Henry Hudson came by, back in the early 1600s, it was an unbelievable protein factory with just clams and oysters, and the Native Americans would come down and they would have the easiest summer you could have, and there were ducks, and even early in the 20th century the hunting was just unbelievably good in the winter for ducks because there was so much food in the bay and the water was very clear. Now there's so much nutrition running into it that it's murky because microalgae come, and it gets low oxygen episodes because when the algae dies it uses up the oxygen. And so all the things that we like in the bay need clean water, and it's not there. And the real frustration is public officials, there's one important step they could take that they aren't. All
right, and I understand that take is to declare Barnegat Bay I guess some type of impaired area.
Yes. The Clean Water Act has a provision, and you can declare a bay impaired. And it doesn't mean that you're saying something that makes the bay bad. You're just declaring it impaired is acknowledging your real problem. Mm-hmm. And under the Clean Water Act, if you declare the bay impaired, then you start measuring the nitrogen. So you take the best science and figure out how much nitrogen is going in, and then you take the best science and figure out, within reason, how much nitrogen would be going in if the bay were in a healthier state.
So declaring it impaired would allow this process of making it better to really begin, because this has been 40 years in the making. So has there been any progress at all? And where are you right now in trying to get it declared impaired?
There's been progress in a variety of areas helping the bay. Land conservation soaks up nitrogen before it gets to the bay because the forest will do that, and a fertilizer law was recently passed. So positive things have happened, but the bay is still drastically declining. So you can do good things, but it is what it is, and the bay's really in trouble. And public officials, the DEP and the governor and the Ocean County freeholders and legislators really need to just push to have the DEP, the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, and the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency to declare the bay impaired. And that might stop the slide because we'll get quantitative. The key is to measure things. Otherwise, you're just talking, nicey concepts.
Right. Well, I want to thank you so much for being with us today. Very interesting topic. You took me back to science class there. Good to see you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for joining us on this hour's Newsmaker. I'm Candace Kelly.